Ha ha ha, there we go. All right, got to break out the I smell snow sweater. Hopefully you're doing fantastic. It's the time of year already. It's hard to believe, but yes, first impactful snow event, especially for those more traditional lake effect areas. And it is the most impactful early winter type event on a widespread basis just from the cold temperatures. So we'll talk about that too. But what are temperatures right now? Well, they're not too bad across the area. Lots of us into the 50s, even some 60s. This is being recorded a little after 5 p.m. on Friday. Look at that, 63 in Chicagoland, 56 in Pittsburgh area. You got to go all the way up towards the Quebec, New York, Vermont border to see temperatures below 40. So not too horrible at all. We're going to see warm weather still into Sunday across portions of the East Coast, as you see there, well into the 50s, if not some 60s and even 70s in towards like Richmond and DC. But here comes temperatures in the 30s back to the west of that cold front. You can see that low near Buffalo. And then, yeah, Sunday later in the day through Monday is going to be cold stuff. Very chilly start for Monday morning. We just do not moderate much. We're talking about 20s and lower 30s across a pretty big portion. In towards like New York, Philly, Washington, D.C., it will be still a little bit warmer. But you'll get a little colder as we go in towards Monday night and Tuesday for sure. There's Tuesday morning temperatures in the lower 30s on a pretty widespread basis across the entire region. And then moderating a little bit Tuesday back towards like Chicago and Indy, Milwaukee, but still pretty cold with middle 30s to lower 40s for the rest of the area. And it does moderate after that then. The NAO, the North Atlantic Oscillation, is negative for the most part, even a couple of deeper negative swings, and that does promote blocking in the portions of the North Atlantic Ocean area, which that high pressure area causes troughing, colder air to dump down in towards areas of the eastern Midwest, Great Lakes, Ohio Valley, and especially into the Northeast. So we'll certainly see that at times. La Nina is now present. You can see that in the blue color here across the equatorial Pacific Ocean where my mouse cursor is. That is going to be with us for at least the first half of winter or so. It's fairly weak. It's not a strong La Nina, but it's certainly a noticeable one. It'll back off the second half of winter most likely. Here's the rainfall for right now over the course of the last few hours or so. Showers pushing across portions of upstate New York and back down across portions of Pennsylvania as well. You can see that pushing towards the Albany area. There's the frontal boundary associated with that. Some gusty winds, but not too bad. Nothing really too severe until you get down like into the Tennessee Valley area. There'll be another reinforcing trough on the back half of that system as well. So that'll bring the rain through across portions of Boston, New York, Philly, and the DC area as we go into the overnight hours, and then pretty much exiting stage right by the time we get in towards 7, 8 in the morning. With just a couple lingering showers along the coast, and then mainly dry yesterday or for tomorrow until we get into the end of the day for Chicago. And this is going to be that patch of some cooler air starting to push on in. So there will be at least a little bit of a rain-snow mix on the back half of that into Michigan, northern portions of Indiana, and then as we go into Sunday morning, some moderate rain with probably some ice pellets mixed in, maybe a little bit of that grapple for portions of northeast Ohio. And look at that. Across Lake Michigan, our first snow band. Let's zoom on in there and show you that. Nice lake effect snow band with a decent amount of fetch, and that will explode into portions of near South Bend along the corridor there. Further off towards the east, you see that I mentioned in northeast Ohio. Push that forward, and you'll have lake effect rain showers mixing with and changing to snow showers as you go late in towards the day there on Sunday. There's the lake effect across portions of the Lake Michigan border into the shoreline there. As we go forward, you can see a couple different troughs and a couple different little batches that are going to wrap their way back around going on in towards Monday, and then also in towards Tuesday as we push things forward. There you go. That's going to be Monday night. And that's going to be as we go on in towards Tuesday during the course of the day. So it's multiple rounds. There's going to be changes in wind speed, wind direction. So it's not going to be consistent heavy batches of snow for several hours or days on end in the same spot. It will be changeable, but there will certainly be accumulation, nickel and diming into midday Tuesday before temperatures start to move up, before the wind direction change, before this pushes off towards the east. Still some snow showers at times across like Syracuse, Clifton Park, into Albany. And nothing really getting into like New York City for the most part, but some definitely in towards maybe Poughkeepsie. Not lasting super long, and then Wednesday you're not going to see too much in the way of issues. Maybe a little bit more residual rain snow mix into portions of upstate New York. Otherwise pretty quiet. Not really going to be a ton going on. It's pretty light stuff, I would say, through the second half of the week, especially on a widespread basis across the country. So how much snow? Well, this is the probability of 6 inches falling from the sky. Not all of this is going to accumulate, certainly not on all surfaces, but it's pretty cold. I mean, it's a wintertime setup. So yeah, downwind of Lake Michigan there, just to the south of it, certainly a chance is there. In the high grounds of southwestern New York, yeah, chances there. Batavia, back in towards like a Jamestown area. Northeast Ohio, no, you're probably not seeing 6 inches of snow on the ground, but certainly a few. Yeah, some bigger totals likely east of Lake Ontario there into the snow belts. So we'll show you the model version of this going forward. Yeah, I mean, the model has 7-8 inches of snow falling from the sky, but let's maybe cut this in half for what realistically accumulates on all surfaces. So yeah, there could definitely be still a couple inches, a few inches that do accumulate. So this could very well, in the heart of the snow belt where these snow bands persist, be a plowable type snow event. Certainly there's going to be some waves where this comes down heavy. It might not last long, but it will accumulate on all surfaces, even if it's just a half an inch or an inch. We get into a pattern that's going to be probably fairly close to average, maybe slightly above average precipitation across our general area in that 6 to 10 day period. That drier weather is across the middle portion of the country. Fairly active out west. Very warm temperatures do build into portions of the plains, into maybe a little bit of the Midwest, but for the most part Rockies, Southern Plains, that type of deal. It does stay cool as we go through that 6 to 10 day period in Northeast New England. But that's a big trough. That is a very big noticeable trough that dips down. No wonder it's going to get so cold. If this was in a month or two, I mean, we would be talking extreme cold, probably major, if things came together, a major snow event, major lake effect events for sure, but still a little marginal in the temperatures. Things reload at times. It'll be cool, but you see that mainly off towards the northeast. That warmer air definitely comes in across like Chicago, St. Louis, Atlanta, and west. And then notice there's going to be another cool down that comes into portions of the Great Lakes and northeast as we go in towards that 10-day period. But that doesn't last. The warm air is going to build in. This is probably going to be decently above average temperatures for Indy, for Columbus, for New York City by the end of the following week. So I think at times into Thanksgiving period, we're going to have still some decent warm-ups to keep track of. So that's kind of the scoop over the course of the next really 2 weeks or so, generally speaking, but we'll be obviously sending out products for any of our clients that are going to be dealing with the snow coming up over the end of the weekend into early next week. But hopefully you have a wonderful weekend. Take care. Be well.